Now, if you're like me and you're wondering, what did I possibly do to receive a lawsuit for $5 million, which they suspiciously got the exact valuation of my intellectual property, that would force me to shut down and apologize and turn over all my assets to the district court?
5 mil to go after them like that? You could do a counter campaign where you came and did a few shows and just basically countered the narrative like other people do, or you could have just let it go and let it slide. But no, you want to take him for 5 mil. This Elijah Schaffer case, because I've been thinking about this a lot the last week or so. So Elijah Schaffer was sued for $5 million over his X posts. Now, $5 million for just posting a photo of Kash Patel and his girlfriend, and then they want to take him for 5 mil for his whole entire business. Just optically, this is an absolute nightmare for them. I mean, the director of the FBI's girlfriend is doing this very sort of complicated lawsuit. Do you think that she did that alone, acted alone? Do you think maybe Kash Patel had something to do with it? Do you think maybe the US government resources had something to do with it, with suing Elijah Schaffer for posting just a photo? I don't know. Maybe, probably.
I received concerning news that I was being sued for $5 million by Kash Patel's girlfriend, Alexis Wilkins. And the reason why might actually shock you. About a couple months ago, I posted this photo on the public social media platform X. I posted it with no caption, no suggestions of any malintent or any slander.
So just quickly, Jake Paul fighting Anthony Joshua? My word, guys. My word. Jake Paul fighting Anthony Joshua. Not going to be a good night at the office for Jake Paul.
Defamation or criticisms of character. I did so attached to an X post shared by another account that I'm not connected to that talked about government agents being compromised. Now Alexis Wilkins is saying that I owe her $5 million for damages, the exact evaluation of my company, and if I cannot come up with that money, that I'm going to have to shut down my business.
Now, for those of you who are wondering, because I've seen this a lot recently, how's Elijah Schaffer's company worth $5 million? Well, Elijah Schaffer didn't start yesterday. This is not just Rift TV. Like, Rift TV is a new thing that he's got going on. But I would imagine that he has other assets from his career as a content creator. I would imagine he would have quite an in-depth setup. He might own some land associated with it. He might have company cars and vehicles. I don't know. You never really know all of the ins and outs of somebody's business dealings. So that's what I'd say. Like the Rift TV itself wouldn't be worth 5 mil as in the channel, but we don't know what Elijah's accumulated over his time in media is what I'm saying.
Give up all of my digital assets and my entire voice online in order to pay her back. So why does Kash Patel's girlfriend want to silence me? Well, it comes down to the lawsuit itself. Before anyone jumps to conclusions and says, well, don't say that she's a honeypot, I'd like to say, I never did. I never would. I never felt like suggesting that, never even suggested that in my own head. So why am I being sued for something I never did? To give proof of that, in section 14 of the lawsuit, it states, while the defendant may not have included any caption to spell out the meaning of his post, he didn't have to. Ever since Kash Patel was appointed as director of the FBI in February of 2025, the conspiratorial corners of the internet and social media have been spreading false narratives about Miss Wilkins as an Israeli Mossad agent, spy, or quote, honeypot, who is only in the relationship with Kash Patel to spy on and manipulate the United States government. Defendant's wordless reply, it goes on to say. So to clarify, before we go any further, if you post a public photo of a government official and his romantic partner, who he's not married to, a very important fact we'll talk about, you as a private citizen or a member of the press can be bankrupted, have your entire company shut down, or completely mocked, slandered, and dragged through lawfare because of what? Because of your First Amendment protected rights.
So the idea here, and this is why this is so mind-boggling to me, is that they're saying that this was implied and that's the context. It seems like he was making a joke to me when they're talking about honeypot and then he posts the photo and it's sort of a joke. And this is basically just shit posting on X. And then they're trying to take him for 5 mil because of essentially a shit post. That is absolutely insane to me. Completely insane. And it seems like a targeted attack. It seems like Elijah Schaffer has pissed some people off in the United States government and they've taken this opportunity to try and take him for all he's worth. And since then, he's had to move his family, apparently, allegedly, according to what he said on X, and he said to move them to a different place. They've been getting people knocking on their door, and lots of different crazy things have been happening. But just the mere fact that they can try and get him for fight, like it's not like he made a video and he said, guys, I think that Alexis Wilkins is a honeypot. Here's why. Here's all of the evidence. Spread this far and wide. No, it was literally a photo shitpost. Like, surely they could find a better reason to get him than that. If they really wanted to get him. It's just incredible. And I would like to see what Alexis Wilkins has to say about this. I know it's now a legal matter, so she can't really speak on it too much. But the fact that they're going after him like that is just wild to me. Let's continue.
Now, I believe that this lawsuit is not only an attack on our First Amendment and our constitutional rights given to us by God, but I believe this is also a violation of SLAPP ordinances. This seems to be a proxy lawsuit, if anything, from Kash Patel himself, and I have the evidence to prove it. We'll start here by talking about what is this lawsuit about and why is it so concerning. As I just read in the previous section, Alexis Wilkins states that I never said anything about her being a Mossad agent. So how am I being sued for saying anything about that? Considering I'm being sued for things I didn't say? Yeah, you heard that right. They're suing me for the implications based upon previous posts I had made on my X account, not about Alexis, not about Kash, but about the state of Israel. I take you to section 17 of evidence. Defendant frequently posts anti-Israel rhetoric accusing Israel of controlling the United States and its politicians, in which they share a post that I said Trump doesn't want to admit that Netanyahu doesn't fear him. Israel has more control over the USA than we do over them. Our politicians are hook, line, and sinker, sold out to the Jewish state of regime. It's genuinely disheartening, and we must remove these parasites from AIPAC. They also posted more evidence in the lawsuit. Nothing to do with Alexis Wilkins, nothing to do with Kash Patel, and nothing to do with me saying anything about her being a Mossad agent. I never said it, so they don't have evidence. So why is it that they've made the entire lawsuit about my thoughts on the Israeli government? That's highly suspicious. They also posted more evidence where I said my entire feed is just about people glazing Israel and defending the occupation of our nation. It's incredible. It all happened after the forced TikTok sale on behalf of the ADL. I also said you either get Israel-controlled politicians who hate you or foreigners who hate you. Welcome to America. I hate it here. And one of the last posts they put, there's many more that I'll read, is it breaks my heart that Trump could have been if he wasn't a slave to Israel. Tragic. Now, if you're like me and you're wondering, what did I possibly do to receive a lawsuit for $5 million, which they suspiciously got the exact valuation of my intellectual property, that would force me to shut down and apologize and turn over all my assets to the district court, that would require me to turn over communications in discovery, which I'll talk about what we're planning on doing and how we're going to be responding to this. I'm going to tell you, this is a very dangerous precedent for the American people, because the entire evidentiary case they have against me is that I do not support Israel, that I do not believe that Americans are free, that we are occupied by Israel, and that my criticisms of Kash are why this is filed. Now, let's talk about this. I want to clarify these things. I never said anything about Alexis Wilkins, period. She said that I had a wordless reply. Sounds dystopian, doesn't it? She also said I didn't imply anything about her being a Mossad agent. In fact, it says that I just posted a picture of our unmarried head of intelligence in our country.
Now, I can understand if it's like Alexis isn't some honeypot. I can understand why that would be so annoying if she's not got nothing to do with the Israeli government, and if there's no honeypot there whatsoever. I can understand why you'd be pissed about this, right? And why you'd, want people to shut the hell up about this, because people don't really know much about her otherwise. They know that she worked with PragerU maybe, and like I sort of loosely knew her. I saw her at Mar-a-Lago and I was like, she's cute. But yeah, I loosely knew her and was like, PragerU, country singer apparently, saw her singing a song at an airport once, but I'd be pissed too if I was her. But $5 million to go after them like that? You could do a counter campaign where you came and did a few shows and just basically countered the narrative like other people do, or you could just let it go and let it slide. But no, you want to take him for $5 million. And it's like, if she can take him for $5 million, then look at all of the reputational damage that's been done to the Wilsons, because of made-up hit pieces that people have made about them. Look at all the damage. Look, over the last few days, how many millions of people do you think have seen these posts and just bought the narrative because they don't know what the fuck they're talking about and they just watch clips? Heaps. Heaps. And for somebody who, you know, is a high-level streamer like that, it can cost them a lot of money. It can cost them a lot. So, I mean, what are the grounds to sue is what I'm asking.